Alrighty, all. Hello. It's Friday. Ready for the weekend. I hope your weekend's going to be awesome as well. Of course, you know what time it is. We're going to be taking a look at some goofballs trapped in U.S. Default bubbles, like always. And we're going to be expanding upon this. We're going to be looking at some of your comments as well. And then we will take a look at a couple posts of people outside of the U.S. who are equally ignorant and out of their mind. So level the playing field a little bit. Let's have some fun with this. Here we go. All right. So first up, we have a clueless commenter online right here. So obviously, the original comment was Trump is slamming Zelensky for not holding elections during wartime when that is forbidden by Constitution, but peacefully chats and nods with his buddy Putin, who's been a president for 25 years. I mean, yeah, good point. Politicians are always weird and snaky. And of course, politicians usually always hold double standards, right? That goes for, I think, every political party ever. At the same time, it is funny that Putin's been president for 25 years, but some people kind of ignore that and bring up Zelensky when it literally is in the Ukrainian constitution, as I understand it, that obviously elections would be halted during, wartime, martial law, that type of thing. Anyway, the American says, whose constitution? Ours doesn't apply in Ukraine. So on one hand, it's kind of like, okay, I'm glad you realize that our laws wouldn't apply in Ukraine. So you kind of got to give them that, right? That's more than some people comment online. But then again, like, whose constitution? Obviously, Ukraine has a constitution. Like, other countries, a constitution is as good as we can get when it comes to a general word, at least in English, for a document that resembles a constitution, right? It might be called something else over there, but people have to realize, like, other countries have their own laws and their own constitutions, or something like it. Of course, the U.S. Constitution isn't the only document with that name, right? They don't own the rights to the word Constitution, but B, of course, our Constitution wouldn't apply anywhere else. It's for our own country, and that's it. The response is amazing. American actually understands that the U.S. Constitution does not apply worldwide. I never thought I'd live to see the day. Most people know that. I hope you're talking about just the goofballs online. So that should be standard for this, these videos. We're only looking at the worst of the worst online. Most Americans are not this ignorant. Yes, the American bubble is real. I could go out on the street and find examples of that, but it's not everybody. This is a meme at this point. I don't think anyone really cares about this because, I feel like whether or not people think it's necessary or agree with it or not, look, if the president wants to rename stuff within the U.S., I think, again, I don't get it. Does it make sense? Probably not. But like that sort of could be allowed, right? But naming international waters and stuff, that's a different story. So again, I've seen things that I like renamed. The White Sox old park, I called Comiskey Park for a long time, even though it was called like 3 different names by the time I was going to games there. I still call it Comiskey Park. I still call the Sears Tower in Chicago the Sears Tower, and it's not called that. I think it's had like 2 or 3 names since. People are going to call the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America or whatever the hell they're going to call it. They're going to call it, whatever's proper in their language and their, geographical analysis. And I think people in real life don't even talk about this. This is like just an online meme, like argument starter at this point. So yeah, I've kind of tuned out of this. Obviously, people will know or should know that people around the world aren't going to call it the Gulf of America. Anyone fighting to like shove that name in every forum is just a lost cause at this point. Move on. Okay, this American says, just remember Canada, we allow you to exist. That land, ours, whenever. Okay, I love the grammar. The grammar is always horrible. I'm not a grammar person. Like, I feel like you should talk within reason, like how you want, as long as it's, understandable and somewhat proper. But like, dude, that land, ours, whenever we want to take it. Obviously, these are always a doozy to read. Yeah, no, that's not how to be a good American, man. Come on, bro. If you want to be proud to be American, you want to be proud of, our country, that's cool. But like, dude, trying to flex on other countries is always not a good look. And then trying to flat out be like, we allow you to exist. That's ours if we want to take it. Yeah, we're not cool with that. What the hell kind of a position is that? Then again, we kind of have equally radical takes here, in my opinion. Remember, I'm not a big politics fan. I absolutely hate it, actually, especially nowadays. It's gotten so disgusting online. And again, I always find people in real life are really cool and reasonable and relaxed. People online are absolutely unhinged. And you see these kind of radical takes from every country at this point, and now a whole continent, apparently. Yes, America is Europe's enemy now. Whoa. Damn, that escalated. Who says? I didn't get the memo on that. I'm not a person that follows politics daily, and I don't consider myself an expert in geopolitics at all. Honestly, I have a, beautiful family and, stuff to take care of. I just want to live a good life like everyone else does. I want to feel safe, and I want to try and make memories and stuff. At the end of the day, don't lose sight of that. These people online, like this guy, total ass, right? Asinine statement. Same with this. Just stop, dude. But hey, if you disagree and think we should be enemies, I'm sure you'll let me know. All right, and back to it. Someone outside of the U.S., presumably, posted, my birthday is the 28th of July. An American says, 28 is not a month. This one will forever be one of the lighthearted, funny kind of disagreements we have. I totally acknowledge that the rest of the world pretty much uses this format, and I get it. I get it, right? It's the day, then the month, then the year. I totally get it. 28th of July, right? My birthday would be 1810, the 18th of October. I don't have a problem with it at all. But there is such a thing as preferring what you're used to. It's not that I can't switch. I could switch tomorrow. If the U.S. all of a sudden wanted to use this format and kind of get on the train with the rest of the world, it wouldn't be a problem. It's just I'm so used to this that I prefer it. So since I don't need to switch, I still write the date the American way on, a document if I have to. So, of course, that would be 7/28, 2025 or whatever. And I prefer it. But I prefer it while totally realizing that this way does make more sense. The only thing I think the U.S. way has going for it is, let's go with the July 28th thing. So, first of all, some people in speak don't say the 28th of July. They say today is July 28th. So, on paper, that would, of course, be 7/28. Also, when you're writing it, there is something that feels a little more fluid when you're writing. And this is just my logic. I'm not saying it's better. Not saying it's better. I'm explaining why it's even a thing to begin with, even if it's not the right way. When you're writing, let me get rid of this. When you're writing 7/28/2025, see how the numbers gradually get bigger? It looks better that way to some people. Obviously, the rest of the world doesn't think so, and that's fine. I'm just trying to explain that for people that don't know why we do that. At least while we still do it that way here in this country, I think that looks better. 7/28/2025. Instead of a big number, then a smaller one, then a big one again. Because obviously 28/7/2025 would look different. That's it. I know I'm going to get roasted in the comments. I don't care. I said it. I tried to explain it, and I admitted multiple times that the rest of the world probably does it better. It is what it is. America has no culture starter pack. Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good meme because we do have culture. It's different. Every country's different. What do you know? I've gotten this comment too. We totally have culture. Don't be dense. And then this guy somehow thought it was funny saying Americans call stuff from the early 20th century old. Enough said. Thankfully, he wasn't upvoted. I mean, stuff that's 100 years old, it's all subjective. I mean, it is old compared to something that's 1 or 2 years old, but we're also aware that there's stuff way older, right? Way, way older. Fossils are old. Other countries are older. You know that I know that. A lot of other Americans know that too. All right, now this one I threw in here because I was a little confused. I'm actually curious. I'm turning this to you guys. This guy's clearly posting. You can see Vodafone.de, so I'm assuming he's posting from Deutschland, right? From Germany. And he's just posting something about schoolwork and why did school never make it this simple. But of course, an American chimes in. Weirdos use commas for decimal points. Now, at first, I was a little confused. Like, I don't see any commas, nor do I see decimal points. So this isn't translating well. Then I saw that there's a mute sign here or a volume thing. So I was like, okay, this is probably a video on that original post, and it might have showed commas or decimal points later on. So that solves that. But of course, he's the weirdo for saying that other people are using commas as decimal points. Yeah, again, other countries, other cultures have different systems for things. Why is that weird? Like, what's so hard to understand about that? I don't get it. I don't get it. But I was more curious on like these measurements. So obviously I know this is metric, right? Kilometers, meters, centimeters. I've gotten good at, getting used to these, but I don't know what these are. So like DM, is that, I feel like that's like, is that decimeters or decameters? And what is that? Is that bigger? Like, how big is that in relation to one of these, I guess? And then DAMs or DAMs, DAM, what is that? I was actually curious because I haven't seen those before. I've always seen, kilometers when we look at motorsport stuff. Meters comes up a lot in various media. Centimeters, of course, millimeters. And remember, in the U.S., centimeters and millimeters and meters to an extent actually can show up in daily life here in certain circumstances. But yeah, I just was curious. What is DM and DAM? All right, now to the comments. Starting it out with, me. I kind of accidentally fell into U.S. defaultism, kind of American bubble, but it was an accident, I promise. You guys know I'm more open-minded than average, but there was a post about some argument between an American and some Europeans from last week's episode, and they were saying, but your tax dollars pay for your health care, which I've always found is such a weird argument, right? And he's right. Taxes do pay for health care in other countries. Sadly, it does pay for healthcare here too, except you just can't get it. My tax dollars do go to Medicare and Medicaid, but they're just for other people. I don't qualify for it. So I get to pay taxes for medical care. While, U.S. Congress members get their free healthcare and make more money than me, I get to pay taxes to help subsidize that. But of course, I don't get any healthcare, so I have to pay for that additionally. I get to pay for that additionally per month, which adds up to thousands of dollars per year. And then I also don't get covered on a lot of things. And if I have to go to the emergency room or something, I still have to pay thousands of dollars out of pocket as a deductible. Welcome to our awesome healthcare. Anyway, yes, tax dollars don't pay at all in Europe. You're right. I missed the little keyword. I was a little more concentrated on what I just explained there, how other countries pay taxes and it actually goes towards something that you can use, but you don't. You don't pay dollars. I get it. You're right. You guys use pounds and euros and crowns and all these different things, but not dollars. So you got me. I like that. There we go. This one is good from Angela Walker. Waiting in a London airport, we heard some Americans complaining, we're Americans, we shouldn't have to wait with all these foreigners. I don't know who, again, most people I know aren't like that. Like, who are these people that are talking like that? A man close by said, you're the foreigner in London. I thought she was going to have a heart attack. That is hilarious irony that they're saying, hey, we're American. We shouldn't have to wait with all these people. You're the foreigner. You're in London. You're not in America. My mother works in a tourist attraction in Scotland. A few months back, an older American couple came to visit. The guy loudly asked if they have guidebooks in American. I sometimes wonder, some people joke around. Is that guy joking? Because he might be, right? Or is he really saying it serious? We'll just never know. I'm going to hope he was joking. Anyway, my mother asked him if that's the one with just pictures. His wife laughed so hard at him that he had to walk away. Okay, so if he had to walk away, if he was a little butthurt, yeah, maybe he was serious about it then. All right, gotcha. All right, let me like that, and let me like that. This is a good one. You mean your taxes pay for that? You mean yours don't? Exactly. I bet most Americans think that towns in Europe with the same names as a U.S. town believe the European one is named after the American version. Sadly, some might. You're right. I could see that being a possibility. Most people here wouldn't assume that, but unfortunately some, especially the ones that are loudest on the internet, they might. And finally, we'll end it with this one. Someone pointing out some logic that is so lost these days. In brackets between 20 and 250,000 income brackets, Americans pay more taxes than Canadians. I believe it. Trust me. I wish I was making this much. I'm not, but I'm definitely above 20,000. And yeah, I pay a lot of taxes. I feel like I don't get anything for it. I pay taxes, then I pay all the other nickel and dime stuff you have to do. Anyway, so yeah, you make between 20 to 250. Americans pay more taxes than Canadians. We Canadians get health care for that. No denials, no bankruptcy. That is an amazing point. But that is it. I have a motorsport video and some other things to get to, and then it is the weekend. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope your weekend's going to be awesome. And yeah, what else is there to say? These are always hilarious. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I appreciate you watching. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.